Very dark. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Hi, everyone.
All right. 8 people.
Yay.
Hey, look, Joanna's here. Look, see, this is Joanne's new name.
Hi,
So this is her
Joanne.
her new username. So yay. Yolanda joined. Welcome, welcome. Dresses.
You.
Chris Winberg joined. 1969. Thank you. Light Cooper, thank you for being here. My goodness, beam me ups here. Just business. Yes, we're back. Thank you for being patient with us. Sorry we've been gone for a while.
Yes.
It's nice to get back. Yes. Hi, drummer's here. Hey, look who. There's
Hey,
Mandy.
Mandy,
Mandy's here.
Josh, how are
Roadrunner
you
joined us.
guys?
Trolls of America. Gosh, that's
Hi.
probably appropriate. I'm thinking, Alyssa and Andrea. Hey, what's up? Beam me up. Thank you for being
Yay.
back here. It's so good to see you. I wish I could see.
Oh.
Whoa, Holly.
Hi,
Holly's in the house. Holly, hello. I still have a video, Holly, that I need to send you. I've just got to somehow flip it down so that it's not too big for to be emailed. Dustin, hey, how are you doing? My goodness. Hey, Trolls, stick around for a second. And I'll have you join us. We'll put a face to your ignorance, and we can have hopefully a respectful conversation. So I'll have you join my live if you've got 1,000 followers. What's up?
No, he only has 6.
He's only got 6 followers.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that interesting? The
Hi.
people with the strongest opinion
Hey,
have the
Holly.
weakest influence. It's funny how that works.
It's okay.
Yeah. What's up, Holly?
all
So
good.
good. Ashley's here. Hello, Ashley. Thank you for
Hi,
coming.
everyone.
I keep looking up because I have another monitor over here where I can read the light, where I can read your usernames a little bit. I can't see them on my little tiny phone. So what's going on, sweetheart dance? Hey, we're doing great. It's so good to be back. Thank you. Thank
Hi,
you for.
Warrior Queen.
Oh, Heather's here. Heather, good to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, we've been MIA for a little while, so it's been a couple weeks since we were here. So we want to jump on tonight. I realize that this is not a regular scheduled live night, but it's been a few minutes, and we weren't able to get on
Thank you,
Wednesday or
everyone.
Thursday, so we want to jump on today. Thank you for those hearts. That's so good. That's so amazing. Kiwi, thank you. That was so nice. Alizi, wow, you're beautiful. Thank you. Antonia, thank you's here. All
Hi.
right. Jody, awesome. Well, good stuff. Well,
Friday.
yeah, good stuff.
Yay.
Well, what did we miss? What did we miss the last couple of weeks, son? There's been a lot of stuff in the news and just been all kinds of good things. So listen, those of you who are on here new for the first time, my name is Alyssa. This is my wife of 26 years, Andrea, and we get on here. Thank you for those hearts. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And we get on and we just talk about trans stuff, and we ask to try to be respectful. We don't ask that you agree with everything we say, but we do ask that you're respectful. We do have some moderators, and moderators, we don't want to boot out everybody that differs in opinion, because we're here to talk to everyone who doesn't understand, because we want to help bring understanding to this very difficult subject, which is transgender and gender issues. And we're going to be talking about some stuff that I've seen online and stuff in the news, and hopefully some of you will jump on live with me, and we can reason and talk about through some of your fears and some of your worries, and it will be a really good, you know, time. Hey, look, there's already somebody trying to join us. Let's see. Now, if I accept you, you can't be gross. Otherwise, I got to boot you out. Okay, we're gonna have someone join us right now. I don't know who. Hello.
Hi.
How
I
are you?
just really wanted to say something. I am new to all of this, and I started watching you guys months ago.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you are, I really, and I will tell you, I'm Republican. I'm conservative. I live in rural Missouri. If that means anything
Oh.
to you. So in other words, I'm not exposed to a lot of this, but have a lot of respect for you and your wife.
Oh,
And I really hope
Thank
that you continue to
you.
do what you do because you are bringing a respect factor that I haven't seen with other people like you guys,
Mhm.
uh, deserving of any kind of respect, because some of them are kind of harsh, and I understand that they have a lot, coming at them a lot, but
Yeah.
they are kind of harsh, and they don't. You
thank you,
guys are just
Bangs.
soft. You're doing the transgender movement. You're doing a lot of good because, like I said, I'm conservative, and at first this was like really against the grain for me. But I watch you guys all the time, and I'm just glad that I hooked in with you guys. And
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining us. Can I ask you what it was that kind of changed your mind a little bit, at least so it's not so harsh? Not that you agree, not that you understand, but just so that you're at least tolerant. Can I ask you what it was that has helped you to be okay with me dressing however I want to dress?
I think it's your approach and the really amazing because you
Thank
not
you.
only just taught me about this, but your amazing way of taking in people's questions and accepting them and their opinion and explaining how, hey, we have to give these people um, time and we have to give them understanding, but this is the way I live. And just you have an amazing quality about you that
Oh,
you're able to really talk to people, even those that oppose you. And it's great because I have really learned a lot, and I've learned to accept what seems to be so different.
yeah.
That it's okay. It's really okay.
Wow, I
Yes.
really
So
appreciate you saying that, and I
sweet.
appreciate you having an open mind, Micah. Thank you for
Thank
those,
you.
for that. What is that? Flowers? What is that? Oh,
Thank
TGIF.
you.
Thank you. Can let me ask you, because I really do want to understand why there's so much fear and why there's so much friction about this. So before you started watching, what do you think it is that drives so many people backwards? What do you think it is that's scary for so many people to even try to understand it and accept it? Aaron, thank you.
I'm thinking about this because I want to give you a good answer. I think
Thank you,
that
Aaron.
partially it is the shock factor, and not you because you look great. I mean, you look
Thank you.
natural, you speak naturally, you don't seem like you're overcompensating, which I think is unnatural for some. And so I think that's part of it. The unnatural, the ones that really, uh, how can I say this without being rude, but, layer on the makeup and sometimes more than even, you know, normal people would wear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow, you're really overcompensating. And then they're kind of harsh, like, just the whole pronoun thing. And if you don't get that right, then they get upset. But
Right.
I think the newness of it, that it's something that we all just are like, wow,
Hey,
what,
Tesla. Yeah,
and
it is
I
it is new. Let me ask you this. If you were in the restroom and I walked in the restroom, the ladies' restroom, to use the restroom with you, would you be uncomfortable? Would you feel like, oh no,
no,
I'm in danger, or something's
no,
really out of whack here?
no, no. And I am the most conservative person you probably could know. Like I said, I live in rural Missouri. I don't get exposed to this, outside of TikTok. And I mean, I have a few friends, that are gay, and I have a couple that are lesbian, but we don't get to see a lot. We don't get exposed to a lot of the transgender.
Sure.
But I would not at all. But I would tell you that like some of these people, and I just don't want to come across like being a total bitch, but some of these people, they don't they they're too much. Like, okay, like even if I'm another girl and there's another biological, one that was born a girl, if she's wearing so much makeup and all her hair is done and she's walking around, and she's just overkill, girls will judge on other girls for that too.
It's true.
It is true. And so it's not just because they're transgender, it's because, whoa, girl, dial it down a notch. And I think that you really present yourself very well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
You
saying
don't
that.
overcompensate, and you guys are a great couple. I mean, you can tell.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
You guys make it.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining our live, and thank you for being part of our community. We need so many more people just like you who are saying, hey, I'm good. It's okay to be conservative. It's okay to be Christian, and it's okay to let other people live their best lives. So, you're a godsend, and I appreciate you joining us and just following us. So thank you for your support.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
I
you.
really thank you a lot.
Yes,
You guys
hey,
have a great
join us
night.
anytime. Join us anytime.
I watch you all the time.
Oh, thank
Good.
you.
Thank you so much. Let's, yeah, all right,
See you
bye-bye.
later.
Let's talk to Larry. Larry J.
So, like, what's going on here? Break it down.
Larry J, is this your first time watching us?
Oh, of course. Never seen it.
Okay. So Larry J, my name's Allyssa. This is my wife Andrea of 26 years. We have 3 amazing kids.
Hi, Larry.
Yeah, I've always dressed in private with my wife, and we've come out more public recently, and we're doing these lives where I'll transition from a man to a woman, and we'll talk about gender-related issues and maybe put some of the fears to bed. Larry, what is your opinion on this?
I'm trying to get out of here, you guys. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Jen.
You're welcome to stay.
What is my opinion on what?
What's your opinion on transgender?
Let me check this out. All right, okay. What about your wife? Is she still a woman?
Yes, I am.
Do you love being a woman?
Yep.
You're a woman. You're 100% woman.
Yep.
So, what happened when your husband wanted to be a woman?
Well, here I am still, so I support her, and I get my spouse a lot of times as male and a lot of times as female. So I'm not missing out.
You wanted a man, right? I mean, like you married a man.
Yes, correct. I did.
But you wanted a man when you wanted a man,
Hey,
right?
Larry, tell us this. Tell us what is your issue? What is your fear with the transgender? If everybody just got to wake up and dress themselves, tell me what the danger to society is.
I don't think it-
No, say that you're a danger. I would say that a confusion and maybe not even a danger because I believe it will soon pass. I just think it's another fad.
A fad.
Yes, of course.
Why would it be a fad?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of fads lately. I really have. I've seen our country turn into something that I never thought it would be.
So Larry, let me ask you this. You said
There's
so-
things that I don't agree with. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in certain things.
Mm-hmm. So Larry, you said that you don't believe that it would be a danger. So what would be the problem with just letting me dress myself and give you a name to call me and living my life?
Well, the only problem is I think you might be confused and you could be like hurting yourself because God loves you, and I think that you might be confused in certain things in life. You might not be a bad person at all. Of course not. You're not going to hurt people, and And everybody sins and everybody does things that are wrong. I just don't believe that it's right. I mean, that's just my belief in, from scripture and being a Christian.
But
I just don't believe it's right.
It's okay to believe. It's okay to believe what you want.
right, right. But outside of your own religious context, can you think of a danger to society? Because those are really the issues that I want to talk about.
But that was a misconception by just you said religious concept. See, I don't have a concept. I have a belief. It's not a concept.
Well, belief.
It-
Let's use belief.
You just well, wait a minute. You just gave. You said that my and I was the words of religious belief. I do not conceive myself to believe in something that is religious. I believe something that is real and it's a part of my life. Just like you believe you're a trans person or you're a woman or something. I don't know. I mean, that is what you do, and for you to label me would be like me labeling you, and I think that's very wrong. So you just called me some religious person that believes in something that I think is very real.
Oh well, yeah. Make no mistake about it, Larry. I'm also consider myself religious, and I consider myself Christian,
But you
and
just
my life is very real.
what does religious mean? What does that mean?
Well,
What is religion?
yeah. What does that mean? So Larry, religious would be your view of spirituality, whatever that is, whether that's Buddha or Christian or whatever else. But we can never impose our religious views on anybody else. So outside of the religious context, really what I'm asking is some dangers to society. What would be some dangers to society if we just said, hey, look, everybody dress your strengths and I'll judge you based on your behavior instead of my biases and my religious background or upbringing.
That's what you just did with people's belief in their God. You put them in a line. That's what you just done. What you just explained is what you just done to anyone that you call religious. Somebody that believes in their God or their walk. That's what you just done.
Yeah, so I'm not totally following you, but I'm glad that you're not threatened by me. That makes me feel good. Larry, let me ask you this. Before you go, Larry, let me ask you this. If I was going into a restroom and you were there, and I came out of that women's restroom dressed just like looking exactly like this, and somebody came up and grabbed me and threw me against the wall, what would you do at that point? Would you intervene and try to help me, or what would you do? Or did I just bring this on myself?
Of course, any human being that is being harmed and I can help, of course I will.
Very good. I
Never,
appreciate that. Thank you,
I,
Larry.
no, there's no excuse for harming or assaulting any person. I don't, and I'm a deer hunter. I'm a person that hunts and all, and I'll kill an animal quick, but I'm going to eat it. But I will never harm anything if it's not a purpose for it. Especially human beings, they should not be harmed for being who they want to be or what they're doing. It's not my place to judge you.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
my
great,
place.
Larry. And I agree with you there. Absolutely. It's not my place to judge you, not your place to judge me, but it is our place to help each other if ever we get that opportunity. And just know, I will reciprocate that, Larry. If you needed help, I would help you as well. So thank you.
Well,
Thank
I
you for
want you
coming
to,
on my program. I
but,
appreciate you being here.
but also I want you to contemplate that there is a God and there's a certain set of rules of life, and Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have said it. But y'all have a good evening.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Larry.
You
Thanks for being
too.
here. John Carter.
How's it going?
It's
Can y'all hear me
going
good?
it's going great, John. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Pretty good, pretty good. I just stumbled upon y'all's live and decided to join in the conversation.
All right. Thank you.
So, going to your question about dangers outside of religion, um, I don't see many dangers. But one thing that I don't agree with is teaching our children in schools. I've seen a lot of videos of especially transgender communities going to elementary schools and teaching malleable children uh, that it's okay, and it makes them confused, and now they don't know which way or which path to take.
Sure. So, John, let me just agree with you and disagree with you. Number one, I agree with you that I don't want sex education or gender identity education in elementary school either. So you and I are in alignment there. I think where we're not in alignment is that children will be confused. Children aren't confused with who they are. You're not confused with who you are. There was probably never a time in your life where I could have, or your parents could have, or a teacher could have convinced you to be a girl or to live like a girl. I don't think that's probably ever the case for you, nor is it any other child. So I don't think that we need any of this education in the elementary school. I think kids will figure it out, and that's where we're in alignment. But thank you for telling me that you don't think that there's going to be a huge uh, deficit in society if people just dress to their strengths. But I agree with you, John. I don't want garbage taught in the elementary school either. I agree.
Yeah, no, and I mean, if people did a little history research, we would see that this isn't something that's new. I mean, you can go back all the way to the Roman Empire and see that there was, situations like this as well. So, I mean, it's nothing that just came out of the blue. And to each his own, because, like, the man that you just had on there, he was talking about, it's against religion or it's against Christ and all that. But we all fall short of the glory of God, you know? So, but I do want to give props to your wife for sticking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing, right? She's incredible. 26 years having to deal with all of this, having to help me through it. The last caller talked, or the first caller talked about, the trans people that have too much makeup and whatever. It's hard. It's hard to figure this out on your own. And without somebody like Andrea, it could be very, very difficult. So, oh, thank you for that, Art. That's nice. So, thank you for recognizing her because she's in a very, very tough position. Heather, thank you.
Thank you,
And
guys.
she's a champion, and she's just an angel, and she supports so many of you even outside of this live stream. So, yeah. Well, John, thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for your comments.
Absolutely. We have Jordan. Jordan's also on the line. Jordan, are you there?
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Lucy, thanks for being here.
Good.
Heather, thank you. Jordan, tell me.
I've been raised by two moms and I've been raised in the community and all that. And whenever, or sorry if I get his name wrong, but not your name, sorry, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the guy that's right for us.
Uh-huh.
And
John.
when you're talking about the topic of being LGBTQ taught in school and all that, I do think it should be taught for one reason. I've been raised with my two moms, and kids will bully me for that, being raised by two moms and not having a dad figure. That's one reason why, because I have trans friends, I have gay and all friends. And them not teaching that in school can kind of show the other peers that this is something that's not right to them being shown. So that's why I do think it should be taught in school.
No, I understand. I understand that point, and what my concern there, Jordan, is that who gets to govern what is taught and what is not taught, right? So once we start teaching about sexuality and stuff to young kids who don't have, they're not there yet. I don't think we need to teach them how the watch works. Because I think we just need to teach them what time it is at that point. However, I am for displaying, the rainbow flag and the trans flag at the school, not because it means that gay is taught here, because it means, hey, gays are safe here, trans are safe here, because there are so many parents who are so against it and their kids are in danger and kids don't have places to go or parents to talk to. So I think it is important for those people. The reality is, if there was a trans flag up or a rainbow flag up, the reality is most kids wouldn't think anything of it. 99% of the kids wouldn't think of it at all. But for those kids that it meant something to, it means the world. And having them being able to go to a counselor, to a teacher, to somebody and say, this is where I'm at, support me, help me, I think that's important. So I think that is important in school. I just am leery of who is going to teach any kind of an education and what is taught in there. That's all. So I'm for the flags. It's the education, because I don't know who to trust to teach them. I don't think you're going to teach somebody to be gay. I don't think you're going to teach somebody to be trans. I don't even think that's a possibility, but it is very possible to let those few individuals know that you're safe here, you're wanted here, you're welcome here, and I think that that's probably a pretty important thing.
I like at my school, we have this thing called the Gay Straight Alliance group, and that helps like me, because I already said I have my two moms, and it helps some of the other people that are homophobic to learn like this
Well,
ain't
thank you.
wrong. This is we have always been here, and
Sure.
we're not virtue or anything.
Well, let me ask you this: what age in school do you feel that it would be appropriate to start talking about these issues? Have the gay straight alliance? Do you think that this is a junior high issue? Do you think this is a high school issue, or do you think this is an elementary issue?
I've noticed the bullying really started happening around 6th or 7th grade. So I'd say
So
about
middle
junior
school. Yeah, so middle school, I would be comfortable with more of that being exposed because at that age, people are starting to really understand what motivates them romantically and everything else. So I wouldn't be opposed to some kind of introduction in junior high because that's when they're talking about periods and all puberty and all those other things. I just think that elementary school is too early to expose our kids to that and get them distracted with things that they're not even going to understand for many years. That's all. But I think the flags are probably important just to let everybody know, hey, you're okay and you're safe here.
Yeah, I do too.
That's good.
Politics, showing the schools are safe space where you can be who you are, even if you're not accepted at home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a real danger. You can tell by the comments that come through, by these comments, by all of this weird stuff that comes in. You could tell that there's a lot of people out there that simply wouldn't be safe at home. If any of those people that were saying those things earlier have kids that were gay or trans, oh my gosh, at what point would it be the right time for that child to go to the parent and say, hey, I feel different. I feel strongly that I'm different. There probably wouldn't be a safe time, and it's going to drive that child places that the parents really aren't going to want them to go.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what to say in my mind, but
No, that's okay. I get it, and I agree with you that it's important that school kids have a place to go to feel safe. I agree 100%.
I don't normally like join group discussions like this. I normally just watch because I found you and your wife and your daughter by one of your TikToks.
Oh, good, good.
Like from before you transitioned your relationship with her to now.
Mm.
Well, thank you for following us. We're honored that you're here, and you can join us anytime. I know you have so much perspective to share, growing up and having two moms, and I think that's wonderful. I just think that your level of tolerance and your vibration of tolerance is probably very, very strong. I'm sure you have a lot to offer this community, and I welcome any advice that you have because there's so many people on here that really could hear that and listen to that.
Whenever you ask the question to a lot of us, like, would we be scared if you would come into the bathroom?
Yes.
I would not. If you were getting hurt by somebody else, if you walked out of the girls' bathroom, I would stand up for you.
Oh, thank you.
So sweet.
Thank you so much. That really that means a lot. I hope that there are a lot of people out there that feel just like you. I really do. Nobody should have to, get in a fight every time they have to use the restroom. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense today.
Because I've always thought, like,
Junior.
a lot of people where they don't want transgenders people to be using the bathroom that their true identity is.
Uh-huh.
And I think if they have to use the bathroom that doesn't match with their identity, it can hurt them more.
Yeah.
Because I think Jazz Jennings once said this, if she had to go into the male's bathroom, that would put her in more danger,
Yep.
being a woman going into the male's bathroom.
Right. I agree with that. And the same would be for me. And I feel pretty comfortable defending myself against most men. I feel very confident that I'm going to do pretty well in that scrap. but it just sucks to think that, hey, I got to prepare for a scrap in order to use the restroom. Andrea, people are talking to you. They're asking you about, how long you knew. Wow, Tammy, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Andrea's going to answer a question. She's going to respond to some of the things coming in right now. I love that you're here. I love that you joined us. I love that you have two moms. You're an amazing human, and we're just lucky to have you in our little neighborhood.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, Andrew. You
Do
can.
want me to answer
Yeah, go
before I
ahead.
join?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes.
I have to get ready. I have school.
Okay.
School tomorrow, so.
All right. Thank you for joining
you.
us.
The thing, and I need to ask you about something real fast.
Okay. Yes.
And I'd like to thank you for always being there for your wife.
Oh,
That's,
Thank
always
you.
being there, so she can be her true self.
oh,
oh,
thank
that's
you.
so sweet.
That's so nice.
She's special. Yeah, she's
Thank
special.
you.
I love that. I love that
So-
everyone who
so
maybe doesn't
sweet of you.
agree still appreciates you and
Yeah.
respects the sacrifice, and you're
Thanks,
you're
guys.
amazing. That's good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining us, Jordan. You're the best.
Have a good night.
You as
too.
well. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. No, that's so sweet, and that doesn't agree with everything, obviously, but still respectful and tolerant, and just appreciates the difference in people instead of is scared by the difference in people. So you have to appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so there's a question asked to me. Where was it? Oh shoot. Did I know that she was trans or contemplating transitioning before we got married? We didn't know she was trans because back when we first got married, there wasn't a word for it, but she did express her value of girls things, feminine things. So I kind of helped her, then him, with, okay, we'll wear this or wear that, or let's try these socks, let's try this shirt, just a little bit here and there. And as time progressed, we realized, basically what we were, because we kind of transitioned together over the 26 years. So I did know, but she couldn't tell me, hey, I'm transgender, because there wasn't that word back then. But she did say, hey, I'm really attracted to girl things. So if that answers your question.
And she took it very, very well. It wasn't like, oh, I'm threatened. Oh my gosh. It was, wow. Well, okay. Maybe these are experiences that you would really enjoy having. And so she would, buy me this or prepare that, or, she would prepare experiences that she thought were valuable to me. And then she got to see me enjoy those experiences and validate exactly what her, suspicions were, or her intuition was. And so it's just organically grown and progressed into where it is right now, which is beautiful. So that's good.
Thank you, everyone, for your kind words.
Oh shoot, I just did something that's not good. Heather's coming on. It's been a hot minute since Heather was
Yes.
on. Heather,
He's texting me 1 sec.
Heather, how are you?
We're doing good, but no. People that were in here, my wife knew she was trans when she was at the age of 4 years old. You know this, Alyssa.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have any memories where this didn't influence my thinking. No memories. So from my earliest memories, this awareness was influencing my thinking. So absolutely.
Yeah, because Robin knew she was a girl when, like I said, she was 4 because she asked her mom, which is my mother-in-law, if she was still alive, that when am I going to get my boots off? When am I going to get this? When am I going to get that? But her dad, on the other hand, did not allow her to be her true self.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to correct herself.
Yeah, that's tough. That's hard. That's really difficult. That's very difficult. How's she doing now? How is she doing from her surgery? Is she recovering well?
I don't know if I told you or not, Alyssa, but she is 97% clear. She's still going to be on her chemo for 2.5 more weeks.
Uh-huh.
and then we go for another scan on September the 7th to see how cleared out she is.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Well, I hope that she's clear. Hey, we're having several people asking, what is a woman? Let me ask you this: why is that question important? Does my definition of what a woman is, if it doesn't mirror your definition, do I not get the right to live my life exactly the way I want, to dress to my strengths, to be myself? Why are you asking the question? And let me put the question right back on you. Well, what is a woman to you? I would love to have that answer. I think probably a better question on this topic with this group is, hey, what is a Christian? I'd like to know your thoughts on that, because everyone who comes in with the hate and the hell and all this other stuff, they're talking about God this and God's angry at me and Scripture this. I like to know what a Christian is to you.
Ooh,
I mean,
trust me, I would love
yeah, yeah.
that. Good.
A woman can give birth. That's pretty offensive. There's a lot of women out there who are not able to give birth. A lot of women who wish they could, who've done whatever they could to give birth and can't. So they're not a woman. What an offensive and insensitive thing to say. What a shallow understanding of the human, dialogue for real.
Because basically, that guy basically said that I wasn't a woman because I can't give birth because I have endometriosis.
Exactly. So imagine how offensive that is for someone to tell you that you're not a woman because of a condition that you have. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, that's good, Heather. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are doing well. It's been a hot minute since we were able to talk. So, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming on. May I ask you attracted to men? A legitimate question. That is a legitimate question, and the answer is no. I personally am not attracted to men, and that's not the case with all transgender people. And it's not really a reflection of transgender at all. Sexual attraction, your sexual orientation is who you go to sleep with, and gender identity is who you go to sleep as. But to answer your question respectfully, me personally, I'm not attracted to men.
And neither am I. My wife is 100% female.
Yeah,
And she,
she's lucky to have you. Christians should
thank
love
you.
others,
You're
not judge
better.
them. That's for God. So true. That's so true. Thank you for saying that, Weber Tribe. I agree. It's funny. Tegan, thank you. There's only two great commandments, right? If you're a Christian, there's only two great commandments: love God and love your neighbor. This is an interesting way to love your neighbor, is to criticize them for whatever they're going through. To judge me because my sins are different than yours is an interesting way of being Christian for sure.
Before I go and answer this one question with this one guy said,
Okay.
because he said what I said, and then I'll go, well, what do I mean by that? She's 100% female. Isn't her mind, body, and soul? She is female.
Thank
Always will
you.
be female. That is what I mean by she's 100% female. Mind, body, and soul.
Mind,
She's
body, and
female.
soul. That's great. Heather, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Oh,
welcome,
Kaylee,
Alyssa.
thank you. Yeah, let's talk soon.
Still be in here somewhere.
Okay, good. Guys, you can also join our Discord. We have a Discord, so if you go to the link tree, you can join our Discord and be involved in much more intimate conversations and more personal conversations. Um, also, if you go to the link tree, you guys, we have a Patreon. We haven't been here for a few weeks. We were MIA for a few weeks before that because at the same time we're doing this and trying to spread awareness and answer questions, we still have to feed our family and take care of business. But I really am trying to just be able to spread this awareness and put together a training program to support the family. So if you're interested in joining our Patreon, there's going to be a whole different discussion going on there and a whole different material there available. So if you're interested in that, then please go to the link tree and join through the Patreon, and we can have some very very deeper discussions. We don't want to get into a lot here because there's so many young people watching this, and that's why we got to keep a lot of the hate and disgustingness out because there's so many young people here, and we want this to be a place of tolerance, of love, of acceptance, And that doesn't mean that we have to agree on everything. It means that we have to respect each other and really try to figure out each other so we can get along good. That's really what this is about. My nephew came out as transgender, and watching you has helped me so much. Oh, that's great. Sherry, thanks for saying that. It's a special child, and they're lucky to have you in their corner. It's not easy. It's not easy for anybody, and especially a really, really young person trying to figure it out. You know, and part of the problem is, thank you, baby, for saying that. Part of the problem is, think about this. If you're a young kid and you say, "Hey, look, I'm transgender," you know what that means to everybody else? Okay, then do it. Then go all the way. You know, get to surgeries, do this, get on hormones. They don't know if that's the distance they need to go or not. There's a real danger by even saying it out loud, because all of a sudden society has these certain expectations for you, and it's you can't try to figure yourself out and please everybody else at the same time. So really, the mindset we have to take is, hey, tell me where you are right now. Tell me what support looks for you right now, and let me just do that. You'll figure it out in time. You'll figure it out through experience. So tell me what you need right now. It's got to be that easy for everybody in every single condition. We want to judge everybody without understanding where they're at or what they need. And it's so hard. It's so destructive on these little ones. Thank you, Pi. That's so nice. Is 18? Oh, I wish that went too fast. Is 18 too? I don't know what that said. You can be delusional. That's fine, but at the end of the day, you're a man. I was like, wow, that's. And what does that matter to you? So stay here. So let's you and I have a dialogue. In fact, if you have 1,000 followers, let's talk. Let's put a face to your comments, and let's have a dialogue, and let's figure out why you're so threatened by me. Because if who I am challenges who you are, the problem is not me, my friend. The problem is you. I've never been challenged by anybody else's existence ever at all. So if I challenge you, it's not me, but I can help you be stronger. Thank you, 3032. Thank you. Is 18 too young to start hormones? I worry about. I don't think that 18 is too young to start hormones, but it's not about what I think. It's about what that person thinks. Everybody's body goes through puberty at different times. Everybody's body needs chemicals at different times. That individual will let you know when they need hormones, and they'll know internally. It's not just, okay, there's a clock, here's a date, I'm going to get on hormones. It's about the internal conflict inside. It's about, you'll know through their behavior, through their attitude, through their gratitude, where they are emotionally. So that's more of an indicator, their internals, than just some clock or an age. An age is just, it's just an age. It's where that person is inside and what they need chemically. If your chemicals aren't right, nothing's right. And that's true for everybody. That's true for you. That's true for me. You know, we are all a product of our chemicals. That's the bottom line. And if we can get those balanced, then we're a whole lot different. I've been on hormones for 7 years, way before I came out on TikTok and was dressing like I am now. Why? Because the hormones are for my health and the dressing is for my happiness. And those, when those two things line up and become congruent, that's where life happens. That's where happiness happens. So I don't know that there's anything sacred about 18. It's really about where that person is in their journey. If you were someone of faith, I believe, I don't, if you were someone of faith, I am somebody of faith. Interesting to call me out on faith. This isn't a faith issue. This is a human condition. Just because you take hormones doesn't make you a woman. So TikToker, let me make this straight. I know you're a little bit slower, so I'm gonna talk slow and I'll repeat myself. It's not important to me that you think I'm a woman. I'm just me. I was born a man, so I'm a man that wants to be pretty. But you want to label that transgender. Okay, I'm okay with that. You can call me trans. It's okay that I'm never going to be a woman. I'll just be this as pretty of an individual as I can and live my life as happy as I can, and I'll never have a baby, and you and I will never date. Is that okay with you? Should I slow it down?
I want to the best time.
Everyone's so caught up on this woman thing. Look, I just want to be me, and this feels right to me. So tell me, what is the problem with me being me, TikToker?
Shoot. Well, Aaron wants some business advice, so Aaron, if you want to ask Alyssa,
Yeah, let's talk to Aaron
you
because
can
Aaron
go
is
ahead and have
so
some
reasonable and
business
rational.
advice. Maybe change the subject for a minute.
Yes, change the subject.
I gotta squeeze in.
Michelle
sorry.
said hi. Hi, Dre.
Hi.
They said you're so pretty. She's gorgeous,
Thank
right?
you.
I mean, who wouldn't? This girl.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So cute. Wow.
Define what a woman is. You define what a woman is.
Amy.
You define what a woman is.
Yeah.
A woman? What's that?
Yes, Amy
Is
said,
it- is a-
wait,
is
am
a-
I allowed to date Andrea? Hello, friends. I
Um,
love you, Amy.
a woman is a feminine human, and a man is a masculine human. There's two genders. You're going to play either a feminine role in society or a masculine role in society. We're talking about social gender only. We're not talking about genetics. We're not talking about biology, right? We're talking about a social construct, a social gender. So socially, I want to be treated this way. That's it. But let me ask you, why is that question important for you? I'm waiting for the Supreme
I'm
Court
Max
justice to
from
defend what a
Scotland.
woman is. How will they do that? There's women that don't have kids. There's women that have an XY chromosome. There's men that have an XX chromosome. How do you do that? And more importantly, why? Why is it important to you? Why is it important to you that everybody live up to your social expectations for them? It seems weird that you would have expectations for other people. I don't know. A woman is an adult female. This is from Matt Walsh's wife. He even answered the whole time. But it brings up a really good point. At the end, he goes, honey, what is a woman? He says, an adult female. And he goes, oh, like this, right? And it's an interesting point, even though it was scripted and acted out. It is interesting that information is received differently from people we care about. And that's why it's important that parents get it right. Because information is received differently from the people for whom we have affection. That's why they got to prepare for that moment when it's mom, dad, this is how I'm feeling.
This is a good comment.
Okay.
Hold on, let me find out who she is. Katie.
Yay.
She said, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. Simple, easy.
Thank you, Katie. My
And
gosh.
mic drop.
Is there such thing? Can you pen that? Do they do that? Can you pen? I don't know what that
right?
is.
That is great.
That's so good.
So good. Everyone's asking about my health. It's
Yes.
good. We are, once school starts and I have a lot more time to go back to the doctor and progress in everything, we will get busier that way. So time will tell, my friends. So thank you for asking.
I think x-rays will tell. But time is
It's
important
true.
too. Yes.
So cute.
Okay. It's hard for me to see him, but let's go. And in the end, we are all human beings. Waffles, isn't that true? Isn't that true? But that's not enough. Some people just feel justified to tell you how to live your life. Here's the question we should be answering. We should be answering these two questions. Does every human being have the right to love who they want to love? And does every human being have the right to be who they want to be? Those are the two questions we should be answering. And if the answer is no to either one of those, then let's talk about that. Dial in here and let's have a conversation about why you think that some people should have a right to love who they love and others not, or some people should have a right to be who they want to be and others not.
Double talk. You're calling people out for their belief, etc.
How's that double talk? I accept your belief.
You can identify as a cat if you want. And
Okay,
we
so
support you on that.
yeah, so user 3479. Again, let me go backwards a little bit. We're talking about social gender. We're not talking about animals. We're not talking about tractors. We're not talking about if you were beat when you were little. We're talking about social gender, period. So your social gender is going to be how you choose to live your life, how you choose the routines that you pick, the name that you ask people to call you by. It's not about animals. That's a whole different set of videos, but we don't talk about that stuff here.
I got to manage this one. Bye,
Yes, ma'am.
whoever that was.
She's brutal. You got to be nicer. She just kick you off the island if you're not nice. That girl's like that. Love and respect, right? Do you have a safe and accepting family? I have a very safe family, absolutely. Um, yeah, and my family doesn't get it. They don't understand it. They have the same views that everybody else has. Like, what's going on? This doesn't make sense. God made you a certain way, and He made everybody a certain way, and He made me this way, and that's why I accept it. That's why I don't feel like I have to answer to anybody else because God knows what He made, and I'm not going to bury my talents because it makes some people uncomfortable. Nor do I ask anybody else to bury their talents. The reality is, God made me. He knows who I am. He knows what I'm capable of, and I'm going to be all of me. That's the bottom line. So yes, I have a family that's absolutely amazing. Every one of them love me very much, and that doesn't mean that they get it. It means that they love me, and then sometimes that needs to be enough.
Marissa, we can't wait to go live so you can share with us your experience.
Absolutely. My kids still refer to me as Dad. Dad. They have a mom. I don't celebrate. They don't celebrate me on Mother's Day. They celebrate me on Father's Day. On Father's Day, I usually get some amazing gifts of makeup and perfume and all kinds of wonderful things that they know that I really, really appreciate. But no, they don't call me mom. That's a title that is not mine. That's Andrea's title.
Thank you, babe.
Jamie, thank you. He makes everyone with flaws. Tori, he does make everyone with flaws, except possibly me. I think he might have made me perfect. And
thank you, Debbie.
that's a joke. But the bottom line is, I don't feel flawed at all. Not at all.
Sammy's here.
Sam's here.
Our daughter's
See,
here.
So our oldest daughter is on right now as well. And she's been absolutely supportive and incredible and such a strength to our family. All three of our kids have been unbelievably supportive and great. Ours is a house of harmony, and I hope that yours is too.
Do you like Fleetwood Mac? Yeah, of course. Oh, everyone's so cute.
Yeah. Do you believe in God? Yes, I do believe in God. I do consider myself very spiritual, and yes, I do believe in God, and I look forward to the day that I meet God. I don't fear for a second. I think God's gonna go, wow, you're amazing.
Sarah from Scotland.
You nailed it. I only gave that gift to a few people, and you nailed it. Were you two a couple before transition? Yes, we've been married for 26 years. I missed that. We
have a viewer from.
Yes.
Oh, shoot, where'd it go? We have a viewer, Modern Flamingo. Thank you so much. She said, first time here, but I love you guys. You're educating people in a graceful way. Thank you. Allyssa is amazing. And yes. Do you think he made a mistake? No. No. Not at all. I'm just gonna scroll past some of these comments. Well, I'm trying to find a good comment answer because, yes, we are husband and wife. Yes. Well, you need to deflect because I don't want to say anything mean.
Is there something? No, we don't have to say anything mean. Let's do this. Let me show you a post that I saw on Facebook, and let's talk about that. We'll actually read some of the comments.
Oh, someone asked me if it bothers me a little. I'm assuming that's to me. The things that bothered me in the beginning was trying to look past everyone's, neck, just like turning around and now that I don't look for it.
Oh, you were bothered by the responses?
Yeah, that's what bothered me. And so it was hard to be public because of that. But once I told myself and Allyssa that this is just how it's got to be, I didn't see the people turning their heads. I didn't see people staring. When you look in their eyes, they just would smile back and keep walking. So
And
I had
that,
to change my
yeah.
attitude a little bit.
But no, but that's such a good
Yeah.
point. When we look for responses, we got responses every single time, 100% time. And when we
Yeah.
quit looking for responses, then we saw everything else that we were there to see that night. So it's about living in the moment and not looking for responses, because you go looking for a fight, you're going to find one for sure. I could get in a fight every single night we went anywhere, but I just choose not to engage because it doesn't make sense. I can't live my life responding to everybody who is not strong enough to let other people live their lives. That's not, if I stopped to throw rocks at every dog that barked, I wouldn't get anywhere. So we just live our lives, and that would be my advice to other trans people. Don't even look for responses, because you're gonna get them if you start looking for them. Just live and let your actions speak for who you are. Let your behavior, be the model of what people think about transgender.
We are in Utah, and a viewer said that you have beautiful makeup.
Oh, thank you. It's the lighting more than anything.
JS212721, beautiful makeup. So cute.
Susanna, no, I do not live as Allyssa 24/7. I've only come out and started doing this TikTok thing about 6 months ago. So it's about maybe, probably, well, because I've been off working quite a bit lately. I would say it's probably even less than 50% of the time right now.
Yep.
So we're just still figuring it out. So this is an organic transition that you're seeing. So you get to just go, if you're interested, you can go along and see, how this thing goes and how I progress. It's just,
Yes.
it's just, it is what it is. And we don't know the questions, but we know that we're going to live it. And if we can help you understand the questions before it gets to your family, then you've got that much more of a leg up on what to do and how to treat your people and how to make sure your people are healthy and happy and supported. And that's really what this is about.
Oh. Our viewer, Cobra Tribe Mama, said, I was never embarrassed for my spouse, but I would feel protective when we were out in public. That's totally true. The mama bear comes out, and it wasn't that I was embarrassed either. I was just the mama bear. You just want to protect your, not my young, but my spouse, and
It's
make
funny.
sure that
She
she's
really
okay.
is. No, she's a mama bear. And if I need to use the bathroom, she's like, okay, let's go. And she'll grab my hand and we'll go walking into the bathroom, just holding hands. And she really is. If someone is looking at me or looks like they want to approach, I mean, she'll step in front sometimes without me knowing, just to deflect it. So she's very, very mama bear like that. And it's great.
Thank you.
And it's not great. I don't need to be defended by her, but it's just
I got you, girl.
really amazing, the bond and the protection that we have for each other. Nicole, you are more beautiful than I am. I'm glad you're here.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good question. Do you feel offended when someone uses he, him pronouns when you're not presenting as Allyssa?
No, I don't. And but please understand that my situation is different than a lot of trans people. Actually, the majority of trans people do not live their life full time. They don't feel safe
At
because
least our age group, for sure.
No, just statistically. I mean, I was just going
Okay.
by the census. I was just going by the 2000 census that most people who identified as transgender do not live full time. In fact, most of them are really still in hiding because of these comments, because they don't know how to respond, because they don't know how to answer the questions. And so no, I don't, but I live as Kevin half the time and Allyssa half the time. So I get it. We misgender in our house all the time. I'll be Kevin, and Andrew refer to me as she sometimes. And it just makes me smile all the bigger. I'm just like, you said it, baby. That's the nicest thing you said all day. So no, I don't get upset either way. And I also understand how frustrating that is if you're just out on the street and you see a transgender person and you're willing to talk to them and you're not threatened by them and you're not offended, but you don't want to offend them. And so it's easier just to disengage and not have a communication than it is to try to misgender them and risk them getting upset, because so many trans people really have a hard time. But you got to understand where they're coming from. they're at work saying this is my name, and people are saying no, I'm not going to call you that. I refuse to call you that. I refuse to call you the name that you feel best describes you. That's so disrespectful. So at some point you do snap. If you started a job and your name was Jason and everybody kept calling you Steve, at some point you're going to be upset and you're going to snap and you're going to go off on somebody. And it's not that every Jason is like that. It's not that every Steve is like that. It's just that everybody has a point where they want to be identified correctly and thought of correctly. That's all.
Are we affectionate in public with Allyssa? Yes. Where is Addie? She's actually, it's our first homecoming, or not homecoming, first football game of the season. So
Addie's at football games.
Addie's-
That girl.
Addie's gotta
She's got a following,
Go
okay?
ham.
You should all know I have a lot of guns, all right? That girl gets a lot of attention. She's so gorgeous.
Yes.
Sam too. Oh
For
my
sure.
gosh, Sam, so gorgeous.
We got cute
They all
kiddos.
got their mama's looks, and
and
so
grandkids.
we're so lucky. Two
Whatever.
gorgeous girls.
They're all cute. So cute. Everyone's been so nice.
Personality disorder. You know, it has more to do with your self-actualization than a personality disorder. Personality is not gender related. Personality is angry or outgoing or whatever. It's not a personality. It's a life. It's a life. It's how you see yourself in every situation through every personality. So it's more about self-actualization than it is about anything else.
Yes. Do you prefer Kevin or Allyssa more? Do you like being Allyssa or Kevin more?
That's a tough question. That's a really hard question. I've been Kevin for 50 years, and Kevin's gotten us pretty far. So, abandoning Kevin wouldn't feel right to me either. Am I happy when I'm Allyssa? I'm very happy when I'm Allyssa.
Thank you.
But am I happy when I'm Kevin? Yeah, I can be happy when I'm Kevin. Do I smile more as Kevin or Allyssa?
Allyssa. And it also kind of depends too if if Kevin has to work more hours throughout the day and can't be Allyssa, she craves it more and vice versa.
Yeah, so if
it
I-
kinda
good
depends
point.
on the roller coaster of emotions. Huh.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the ability or availability to dress. That does have a lot to do with that's true.
You seem comfortable in both bodies.
Oh, thank you, A. I am very comfortable in both bodies. That's true. And the truth is I could live a life as Kevin, but I wouldn't be as happy as I could be if I was Allyssa too. It wouldn't be whole. At that point I would have to look God in the eyes and go, sorry, they're making fun of me, and so I couldn't use my talents. I had to bury those things because there were too many people that didn't understand. And I'm much happier when I can be Allyssa for sure.
Someone asked if I was worried if you would go and find yourself a man. No, because Alyssa's attracted to women, so I'm not
This
worried
woman.
about that.
I'm attracted to this woman.
It seems unfair you can't be Alyssa all the time. Sometimes I feel that too.
Kevin's still pretty special. Again, 50 years of Kevin. It's a different goggles. I remember in the old cereal boxes, you could get you had the glasses that were red and the ones that were blue, and then you look at the back of the box, and it's like a totally different picture depending on which color. It's that. It's this picture that we're all looking at it, but we don't all have the same lens, and so when I have this other set of lenses, I just notice so many more things that feel important to me, things that I value, and so it's not that I don't like what's in the red. It's just that what's in the blue or whatever way around that is, it's just so much more interesting. But the outside of my body doesn't completely align with the vision that's coming from the inside of my body.
It's a good question, Reptiles. Do you see a difference in how you are treated based off being a man or woman presenting?
Yes, absolutely. I do get to that difference because I lived in Vegas. I worked in Vegas for a number of years, and so we had two households, and so I would be in Vegas all week, and then I'd come home on the weekends, and I would stop at the store on the way home from work as Kevin, buy whatever, go home, realize I would dress, make dinner, do the whole thing, realize I forgot something, and go back to the store, and I could deal with the exact same people that I just dealt with as Kevin, and I was treated completely different. And I think that's one of the things that makes transgender people so scary to some, is that communication is gendered, and everybody's going to communicate differently with a man than a woman. Period. We just you just communicate different. We all do.
They
And-
open her door. You know, they let her go first. I watch it. I see it.
And it's not because I've tricked them or they don't know.
No,
They
they're
know.
just being.
They're saying
respectful.
that's right. They're saying, "Hey, I see you, and I'm comfortable with
Love
you,
Sam.
and those are great shoes." And I do get a lot of compliments, not because, not that they're not sincere compliments, but it's more about them letting me know that I'm safe there and they're okay. And I love being around people with strength like that, with confidence like that. It makes me feel so safe.
Thank you, Seville 22. That was so
My son is
nice.
struggling with his image. He's trans and he's about to start high school. My gosh, Carrie, that's a tough spot for every single child that age, which makes it all the more difficult for your child, because when people aren't sure who they are, what they're capable of, then it's really easy to find a target, so that people know that they're at least tougher than that person, or better than that person, or stronger than that person. So it's really easy to be a target at that age. It's an easy to be a target at this age. Look how many people here are literally challenged by me for whatever reason. So, that I would just say, be true to themselves. Be true to themselves, and don't start figuring out now how to please people and how to make people like you. This is not the right time to do that. This is the right time to figure out what makes you like you, what makes you happy, and let everything else organically come together. Your people will come, when your people are ready. So I understand their worry and their scare, because that's real. And gosh, I wish them the best. Just stay true. Just stay close to them and let them know, hey, wherever you are is okay. Just keep me in the loop. Keep me close. Because if you fall, I just want to be close enough to grab you and pull you back up. So just let them know that you're there no matter what they're feeling, for sure.
It seems like too the kids nowadays are so much more accepting
Oh.
and loving and open arms. Our kids have gay, trans friends, and they just are like, "Mom, that's just totally normal." It's like, okay, So hopefully, your child's school is has some
A
good
little more
kids.
open. Yeah, he's very, very vulnerable for sure. It's such a huge deal. But it is a huge deal, Carrie. You're right. And that's why we're getting on here, because we're saying, hey, why is it such a big deal? We both got to go to school. Whether I show up to school in a dress or blue jeans, why is that a big deal? Whether I go to the store in a dress or blue jeans, why is that a big deal? Let people live dressed to their strengths, lives to their strengths. We need to judge people on their behavior, not their clothing. It's so shallow, to judge people based on their clothing instead of their behavior. It's crazy. Axel, thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, hold on. Somebody wants to join. This will be beautiful.
Hi from the UK.
It's Jeremy. Jeremy's joining us. Jeremy.
Hi, Stephen from the UK.
Jeremy, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Jeremy, thank you for joining us.
Hey, we spoke 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I think you were with your daughter.
Yeah.
I just, I was looking forward to you coming back on because, like I said before, I'm a pretty big conservative. But what resonates with the conversation you're having right now is, I think the words are "be kind," right?
That's right.
And as long as I don't understand everything, and that's okay. And what I appreciate about you is you come on here, you don't shove it down people's throats, but yet you're open to conversation and dialect. And I think that's very important, especially with the world that we're going into. You have a far right movement and a far left movement, and we just need to find a happy medium here, right?
Isn't that true, Jeremy? You're so right. The left wants gun control, the right wants trans control, and the common denominator there is control, and we're giving it to them one way or the other. If we just all came together and said, hey, look, be you, but be brilliant, be kind, just like you just said. Think about how we would pull away from the wings and all of a sudden we'd be a much more unified people. But these social issues, they've got us worked up with bathrooms and clothing, and so all this other weird stuff is going on the outside edges. It doesn't make sense that we fall for that. You're right. Kindness would really solve this whole thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm guessing this your wife next to you here?
Yes. Andrea, she's gorgeous, right?
Hi.
Yeah, great. You both are gorgeous. You know what I mean? And I
Thank
think
you.
a lot of
Thank
it
you.
comes between attitude and life as well makes you
For
more
sure.
gorgeous. You can have a supermodel, but you can have a brain that doesn't think, and you're not kind to people, and yet you're not very gorgeous when you actually get to know the person. So I
Right.
actually
Thank you.
really, I followed you, and I just want to say like I see a lot of channels, and I mean, there's some trans people, and they say it's a safe space, and I get that, and I agree, trans people need safe space, but when you try to go for dialect, they just block you, and then they just don't want to talk about anything that doesn't follow their views.
Jeremy, I get that, and thank you for saying that. I do understand that, um, but it is really hard sometimes, Jeremy, because if you even bring it up, the first thing they say is, "Hey, what is a woman? Can you have a child?" No, well, you're not a woman, you know. So one of the problems with the trans community or the struggles they have is that they're dismissed so easily, and there's not even a good opportunity for dialect. Believe me, there's nothing a trans person wants more than to be known. They've gone their whole life without being known. I went my whole life without being known. So they want to be known. It's not that they want to shut people down. It's that they have to fight for every sentence that they give. You know, and I get it. The rallies are annoying and the rah rah rah. It does feel in your face, especially if it's something that you disagree with. But again, look, if there's no other way to do it according to history, right? The blacks had to stand up and fight themselves. The women, the same thing. The gays, the same thing. So if there's a different way to do it, other than just get up in your face and say no more, history hasn't taught it to us. And that's kind of the purpose of what we're doing. I think that history can be different this time. I think that people can be more tolerant. They just got to get over the fear that I'm here to hurt them, that their family's in danger. I don't want my family in danger. I don't want my daughters in danger. I don't want them in danger in the restroom. I don't want them in danger on the soccer field. And that's the bottom line. So I don't think that it's going to take, rallies and really loud, obnoxious stuff. I think it's just going to take a good example, but it's also going to take on the other side people willing to step back and say, let me just reconsider how I think. Let me reconsider the biases that I have and the prejudice that I've been taught. Let me at least reconsider that, because we are not the same people genetically that our parents were or that our grandparents were. We're just not. Genetics are just different all the way through. So, Jeremy, you raised such a good point.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. You know, the world's evolved from when I went to school, when you went to school. You know what I mean? It's a completely different world. I got a question for you. I mean, maybe this is a random question, but now that you made your transition, is there anything when you were Kevin? I think your name was Kevin back then. That you regret, that you miss, that, like, not regret. I guess the word is miss. That you miss something about Kevin.
Jeremy, that's such an intuitive question. Thank you for asking it. The truth is no. The truth is no, Jeremy, because when I was on the football field, or I was on the wrestling mat, or on the soccer field, and there was cheerleaders, I absolutely could look over and say, "Oh my gosh, that would be the greatest thing ever." Like I've thought several times now that would be super fun. I would love to have the little skirt, the little cheerleading skirt, and I just thought that would be the most amazing thing to wear. However, remember at that time I was trying to earn my own right and respect in those events. I was having a Kevin experience, and I was committed to having the best one I could have. There wasn't an option back then. I'm 50 years old, so back then the thought of this, Jeremy, I can't even tell you. This never even crossed my mind. Look, I'm totally my bracelet's hooked onto my dress, is why I'm handcuffed right here. But I didn't. So I
that was good. I mean, like, I think if you accept the way you are now. I mean, you don't need to worry about how you used to be, which is good, you know.
Yeah.
And I appreciate both you guys, and thanks for taking the time. I'll let you get
Thank
to your
you.
conversations, and we'll talk later.
Jared, thanks so
Okay,
much for the
guys.
question. Beautiful questions, and join us anytime. We're grateful to have you in our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't
So
been here for a hot
nice.
minute. I'm sorry, guys. We've been trying to earn a living, which brings me back up to Patreon, guys. If we're really trying to figure out a different way to support us, so I don't have to be gone every 2 weeks. That's not what's good for our family. That's not what's good for this community. So, if you want to help us on Patreon, we're going to have a whole different set of information and discussion for those people who want to be part and help us through Patreon. And you can get to that through our link tree. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yay. Sorry, I gotta mute some
Yeah,
peeps.
that's your going. Nicole, thank you for being here. Did I say Donna? Donna, thank you. Casey. Hey, shout out to the Casey from West Virginia.
Hi, Casey.
Thank you from West Virginia. Hey, Virginia's for lovers, okay? I don't know if West Virginia's for lovers, but maybe just hopeless romantics or something. Dina, thank you for being here. Yeah.
So cute.
Thank you, Dina. Do you have an open marriage? No, we don't. We do not have an open marriage. But we have open minds, and that's kind of why we're here. We just would like to help other people open up their minds to maybe something that they hadn't considered before, or thought about before, or maybe even questioned before. And we just want to give you a reason to start questioning some of the biases and prejudices that you have. I just want to show you that there's no danger here. There's no threat. And this incredibly high suicide rate in the trans community, it's unnecessary. All they need is someone to reach out and grab them and pull them back up and say, I got you. You're okay. You're perfect. Just, you're all right. Hang in there. That's what they need. So it's too much destruction on the backside of this for somebody not to go, hey, I don't get it, but I'm sure not interested in letting people, hurt themselves or be miserable. So.
Love the wig. I want
Trans,
it.
thank you. This wig, is this wig amazing? Thank you. This is it's real human hair. I got it from a place in Vegas that is no longer in business. I wanted to give out that information, and I called them recently and said, hey, can you give my people a discount? And they're out of the deal. So I'm gonna have to find a new wig place apparently.
Yes. Some
See
people
my
are
nails?
commenting with some pretty personal questions. Does that bother you?
No. If it's
Not anymore.
inappropriate, yeah. If it's
You
inappropriate,
do?
I just won't answer it. But I also understand where a lot of people are, and they're asking personal questions because they're real and because their answers are hard to find. And if you're thinking about hormones, or your spouse is thinking about hormones, and you're worried about intimacy and performance and all these things, it's tough to get these answers. So I do understand why the questions come, and you're hoping for genuine answers. And I try to be real and I try to be authentic. Some answers are not appropriate for all of the audience that joins us, but I will answer the questions that I think will be helpful to somebody. And I understand that not everybody gets the same thing out of those questions.
It's true. So, oh, hi, Jason.
Jason, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Is that a book behind you? No, you know what? Okay, let's talk about this. Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot. This is actually, I pulled this off of social media, and it has a dad and a son on motorcycles, and it says, teach them to change gears, not genders. And then there's like 500 and something comments, so I went through and I read a lot of those comments and I screenshot them, and we can read those too. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I wonder how many people went, yeah, that's right. My guess is a lot, maybe most. And I guess my question to this is, how could you teach somebody to be a different gender? Like, at what age were you when you could have been convinced to be the other gender? What age are your children that you think that if you said, listen, I need you to start living like a boy, or I need you to start living like a girl, at what age do you think you could have got them to do that? We could have never got our children to switch genders. My guess is you couldn't either. And if that were the case, then you'd be able to talk these little kids out of it. But you can't, because they don't. And that this is crazy that there's anybody out there teaching little kids to be the different gender. Look, they are who they are. You can either believe it or not. But when the science does come out and explain what's going on, there's going to be a lot of people, probably mostly Christians, going, well, I didn't know. The Bible said, my pastor said, the bishop said. And it won't matter. You were still a shitty person the whole time they were saying that. At some point, you got to take accountability for your own thoughts and your own actions. And you just got to be respectful to people because they're people. That's why.
People are asking about surgeries.
About surgeries?
If you would like them, or if you're going to, or if you've had some.
I have had some surgery, yes. So I had something called a fat transfer, and that's when they took out some of the fat around my stomach, and they put it on my hips and on my butt. So I did have that done. That was a few years ago.
Again.
I know this bracelet is so catchy. I'm gonna get a less catchy bracelet. So I did have that done, and it didn't take, unfortunately, for a little while. I actually had like a shape, and even though fat transfer is very hard to get work, I think it didn't work because it probably wasn't trans fat. That was a trans fat joke. but anyway, you have to really take care of it. And so no, I didn't. I haven't had top surgery or bottom surgery. Will I? I don't have that intention because I don't need to. I have some chest material because of the hormones. I've been on hormones for so long, and I'm Andrea's husband as well. And you know, regardless of that, it is what it is. Sometimes I'm a Viking, and sometimes I'm Shirley Temple, and that's where we're at.
Oh, I never knew how much my sister struggled being born male. It's true.
Nicole, it's so great that you recognize that and you recognize the support that sibling needs. There is very few people that can support like a sibling because a sibling is in the trenches. The sibling knows all the secrets. The sibling knows where you've come from, and they're governed by the same rules and a lot of the same attitude and the same biases and the same prejudice. And there's probably little support that's stronger than sibling support. So they're lucky that you're there.
I leave my phone while I clean and listen to you.
Aw.
You teach me so much.
Lady Shay, thank you. Thank you for joining us too and being part of our community. We just need great people, just great people who are willing to defend everybody, not just their church, not just their people, not just people who have the same interests, but just defenders of people. We lack defenders of people. We're so busy defending our own actions and our own behavior and our own past and our own belief system that we've lost sight of anybody else, and it's a tragedy.
Oh, your trans brothers support your work. Oh, thank you.
Did I do professional voice training? No, I haven't had any training. That's why I still sound like James Earl Jones. But my Kevin voice is actually quite a bit lower when I dress. I speak from my upper diaphragm instead of the lower diaphragm. You know, if I was in front of a big room training a group of people, I would be speaking from my lower diaphragm, and that's really where the power comes from. So it's, even though it's really low, it's still a little bit higher than it would have been otherwise. What do you tell your children who have questions and are so young? What do you tell? We told our children, the bottom line is the little kids, they don't need help figuring it out. Maybe the teachers need a little bit of help. The parents definitely need help from the friends, but kids don't need help figuring it out. Kids don't care. There's so many of you are teachers and have expressed this. Kids figure it out, which is why I don't want sex education taught in school. I don't want gender education taught in elementary school, because kids will be okay if the parents will stay out of it. You know, that's the bottom line. But the kids are learning from their parents what's deviant and suspicious and wrong. And now kids feel justified hurting other kids because, gosh, I got it from my parents. My parents aren't going to tell me something that's bad. And my parents, say these disgusting things. So I feel very at liberty to say disgusting things. So it's not the kids that we need to help educate. It's the adults that really need to think differently.
Okay, hold on. There's another one too.
Babe, I promised we'd only be on for an hour, and it's been an hour and a half. Sorry.
That was while teaching
We'll
your
go.
child to love everyone, yellow, black, and white. I'm not having to describe different genders. What do you tell your children who have questions and are
What?
so young about?
Right. So what question would they have? Your child is going to get a name to be
I'm
called.
just asking.
No, right. No, and I'm responding respectfully. I'm sorry. I get so worked up and emotional. I'm sorry. Alyssa's here.
I'm just
We need
gonna grab
Alyssa
a drink.
here. Okay, I get it. Alyssa's. I
No.
need Alyssa here. Um, the reality is, what would the child need to know? Because another child's going to say, "Hey, I'm Bill." There's no reason for this child not to just believe that they're not Bill and call him Bill and treat him like Bill and live like Bill at recess. So there's no kids running around going, "Hey, I'm a girl with a little penis." That's not what's being said. It's, "Hey, I'm Tiffany." And so it's Tiffany, and Tiffany gets to do Tiffany things, and Tiffany gets to be a real human and have real friends and real friends with parents that accept Tiffany and want that person and child to be happy and healthy. So, there's no little kids. I don't think you ever need to sit a little kid down and say, "Hey, look, there's a lot of women out there running around with penises." That's not an appropriate conversation. The kids will figure out who their classmates are. It's the parents at work that need to figure out, whether or not it's okay to call Tiffany Tiffany. It's just a name. Let's hear from the attractive female. They
What?
I know, mean spirited. Is that the way you want it to be when Jesus comes back? All calling me not a. What is a Christian? That should be like my little thing. I better get this.
So, for instance, there's lesbians in his class. He's in 5th grade, and I'm just trying to probably help them understand.
Oh, your sexuality. So not gender, but sexuality. Gosh, some girls like girls, some girls like boys. Whoever you like, we're gonna love them too, and we're gonna treat them great and respect them. So
Yes.
feel free to love who you're gonna love, and don't push boundaries that aren't comfortable for you. Don't try to love people that others love. Love who you love, and that'll be okay. But I think it's healthy that a child knows that some girls love girls and some girls love boys, and vice versa. But some boys love boys and some boys love girls, and nobody gets to choose that but each individual, because that's part of being a human. It's part of waking up and realizing I get to love who I want to love, and I get to be who I want to be, and then have the discipline and the mindset and the habits to go be that person and have those things. It's not about gender. It's not about gender. It's about discipline. It's about behavior. It's about dreams. It's about not compromising who you are for what's comfortable to you or other people around you.
Yes.
It's not a gender thing. It's an ambition thing. It's an honesty thing. And I feel much more honest sitting here just like this than all the weird stuff coming in, with church and God and repent and sin. And, anytime someone's judging me because my sins are different than them, I get very, very suspicious. Very suspicious. It's like the thief. If there's a mechanic who's a thief, he's always got like 7 different locks on his toolbox, right? And everyone who's not a thief, they like leave their box open because they think, everyone's good here. But it's the thief that's always got like 7 locks on their toolbox. And every time someone calls in with this nonsense sin and whatever, I'm always like, "Woo, wow, that's a thief right there."
So people asked again how Alyssa told me. So before we got married, Alyssa told me, "Andrea, I'm really attracted to feminine things. I like soft things. I like pantyhose. I like, whatever." So I was like, "Okay, well, here's my underwear." So I didn't know what else to do. I had makeup, but I wasn't going to give her my makeup because I needed it when we were dating. We weren't living together, so I couldn't share. And here's some pantyhose. It's something that's between my spouse and me. No one else knew. And we came to terms with that. Okay, this is something that we don't know anyone who does it, so we're going to do it ourselves. And here we are today, coming out to the world. And I'm accepting, and I love both my spouses, if you will, and I'm supportive of both of them. Was it hard? Was it difficult? Of course. Any marriage is. This was just something that we handled by ourselves. So that's what made it more hard. Okay, all done.
Good answer.
As my grandson would say, I done.
All done.
I done. Yes, I will speak. I will speak, grandchild. Okay, that's all.
Is that it?
Yes.
Well, babe, is that good, guys? We wanted to come back on tonight and just say that this is just proof of life. We've been gone for a long time, so we just wanted to get on and show you there's proof of life, and we were going to re-engage, and we're going to figure out how to not keep leaving to go, earn a living, and it's great. We've been approached recently by newspapers. In fact, our story just came out in Newsweek, so I guess we need to get that on our
We'll have to
homepage.
put that on
On our homepage of TikTok. But yeah, just a couple of days ago, an article about us came out in Newsweek, so that's really fun. It wasn't completely kind of what we thought, but there was
So don't believe everything you read, people.
we've been in two publications. We've been in Daily Mail and Newsweek, and both articles had information there that I didn't feel was completely factual. I'm not sure, but I'm sure maybe it sold more or whatever else.
Thank you.
But the bottom line is, I guess any exposure at this point is probably good exposure. And I guess it gives me an opportunity to clear those things up anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, Newsweek. So go maybe Google Allyssa and Newsweek. But we should put a link up somewhere.
We'll have
probably.
to put our link, put it up on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't
so
know how you
guys
do that.
Well, I don't know either, but
We got an offer, and I can't talk a lot about it, but maybe to go back and be on a show on NBC. Was it NBC or CBS? I don't know, but to be a guest on a talk show, and so that's something that's come together recently as well that we're considering.
I haven't
So
even
there's-
told my friends. Hmm. I'll tell you girls later if you're still here.
Sorry. Well, I didn't know. I didn't say. I just said that there
I
was an
know, I
opportunity
know.
that has been brought to us. That's all.
I'm just really excited to tell them because they know my love for this person who has. I know, it's so exciting. It's so cool.
My occupation. So right now I don't have an occupation. I'm just doing trans awareness stuff right now. My last job, I was a national sales director of a medical device company. So I've been a director of sales type of position for probably the last 15 years. That's really where I've been, is just in middle management.
And I am a master esthetician. I do things from the home now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right,
I do
he knows the
lash
good skin, the nice
extensions
products.
and facials and
Always a pedicure
waxing.
because
Yeah.
of my girl. Always got
Yes.
a pedicure.
And someone
My
noticed,
toes are-
one of our friends came over yesterday to get some treatments, and he noticed her beautiful toes. It's so nice. Yes, we need a history repeat. Gotta bring the camps back from the trans.
I don't
What
even know
does
what that
that
means.
mean?
Yeah. I need full sentences, please, or something. I don't understand that.
Hmm.
We need a history repeat. Got to bring the camps back to the trans.
Mm,
I want to agree, but I don't
Aw.
understand it.
so nice. And he's so cute.
What'd you say?
Said he told me he's the cutest, isn't he? Yes. So cute. Well,
good.
I think people.
Hey, what does WW2 mean? World War II?
I think so.
Trans camps, like you know what, trans camps a good idea. Like if there were a
Aw.
place that I could have gone at some point and
For
learned
real.
how to do makeup,
I would
because think about
love
that.
to do
Then
that.
people don't have to go out for the first time and have so much blue
That's a
eyeshadow
great idea.
and so whatever. Yeah, there should be some trans camps that actually taught you how to look a little better,
Good
so that
idea.
people weren't so easily challenged and abusive all the time. That's not a terrible idea.
Oh, cute.
Oh, Modern Flingo, I know. I just, got to put a good spin on a weird thing.
See, people will go to trans camps just
Yeah,
to learn too.
maybe that's my new
My
occupation.
friends will totally
Maybe I'm gonna
come.
create a trans camp. Let's teach people makeup, about wigs, what are good
I could
wigs,
do skincare,
skincare. Yeah, that's
lashes.
great.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Okay.
Okay. Well, sweetie, should we?
You guys are
Tori,
great.
thank you. Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
they're trying to be transphobic, but Memphis, we won't let them. You know, if you don't like me, it's only because you don't understand
Yes,
me.
see?
Because if you
Pedicures
needed
for
anything,
sure.
you'd know that I would be there for you. So it's
We're in Utah. Reality TV breaks up
yes, you
marriage.
can
It's
be
not
involved in the
reality
camp.
TV,
Yes.
but this person has a reality TV,
Thank you, Tracy.
but is starting his own show too on top of that. And that's
Babe.
all I'll say about that. Okay.
Thank you, Megan. Megan, thank you for being here.
Thank
really.
you. Aw.
Yeah. I really
So
need to know why.
fun.
Can I? Russ really needs to know why, but I don't know why about what. Why? Because I like you? I don't know why.
Hold on, I'll go see if there's another. Um, people
Yes, Modern
say
Legal,
let's
thank you.
let's do the trans camp. That'd be
Yeah.
such a great idea. Will you still married? Will you stay married? And are you attracted to men?
Yes, we will stay married, and no, I'm not attracted to men. That's a great question, and you know, this is not about gender identity. It's not about sexual orientation. It's about gender identity. So they're two different things. Although I understand the question too, because I will say this: I am much more. Man, I gotta. What's a word that I'm not gonna get scrutinized later? Tolerant. I don't know that tolerant's a good word, but when I'm dressed like this and I'm approached by men in a very nice way, or I don't want to say flirtatious, but if we're dancing and Andrea's
They
not right
flirt.
next to me, you know,
I'm okay with that.
I'm not like, hey, get out of my
comfortable with
space,
that.
you know. So I'm not attracted to men, but I'm also not threatened by them. Whereas Kevin, if you get in my space, we're probably gonna establish some boundaries very, very quickly. And you know, Liz is much more tolerant, I guess is the word. I don't know.
People asked about your foundation.
I thought you were giving me a breath, man. I thought it was like mouthwash. I'm like, sorry, baby. My foundation is CoverGirl.
CoverGirl Clean.
CoverGirl Clean. This is really, it smells like Noxzema. It feels clean. It goes on nice.
We both use it.
Typically,
It's the best.
typically I would use a primer. I did not tonight. But I've been using this Milani Peach Primer, which is really, really great. Gives me kind of a dewy look. I really like it, but I didn't use any primer tonight anyway. Skyla, thank you. Is what that said. I wish my eyes were better. I wish my eyes were better, but my lashes are amazing. I guess I'm just gonna have to be happy with the lashes. I love CoverGirl, right? They're really good. Southern Indiana, thank you for being here. That's so good.
I only use MAC or Fenty. We've used MAC
Fenty.
before.
I knew you had money.
You have Fenty.
I knew you had money. One of those rich girls. Yeah, we have some Fenty stuff as well, and MAC. I have a lot of MAC makeup as well that I like. You know, I like the MAC lipstick. It goes on really, really good, but what I don't like is that it comes off really, really easy. I have a hard time with my MAC lipstick wearing it for very long at all. So I almost don't use it because I hate to reapply it every 3 seconds.
Oh, thank you, William.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Willem is nice.
Everyone says you look
thank
so
you,
pretty.
Linda. Thank you.
We'll have to try the Tarte primer. I've never used. Did we?
The Tarte? No, I didn't. I've never tried that.
We've used the setting spray.
Natasha,
but not
thank you.
the
Thank you for being here.
primer.
Meg, thank you for following. Joshua, thank you so much, guys. Jennifer just joined. Guys, we're so grateful that you're here, and we're happy to be here with you. Again, I've been gone a lot lately, just out trying to earn money and feed my family. We did get a Patreon recently. So if you feel like you want to help out that way, we're going to have different content for those members who help us through our Patreon. You can get to that through our link tree. Thank you, Chris, for that.
Thank you.
And Melissa, thank you. But there's going to be a whole bunch of articles and videos and blogs and different things that are going to be put on for those people who support us through Patreon, just so I can stay home, you know, and put together better information, more information. Chris, thank you.
What
That's so
lashes do you
sweet.
have on
Thank you.
tonight?
Lashes tonight probably are Kala. Are they
The Calla
the
one?
Kala ones? Is that the
Okay.
ones? Let me look. Hang on.
Do you want me to get it? Or
Yeah,
you?
would you please? I don't know. Maybe they're not because these are like super glam ones. Like they're a little longer than I would typically wear. That's why they kind of hang off the edges a little more. I don't usually
look
wear
like
such a
these
full
ones.
long lash.
These are
Oh, these are my favorite.
Calla.
These are my favorite right here. These
Here's
Volt,
this
this
Calla.
Cala Volt. Yeah, these are my favorite lashes right there. This is what I wear most of the time. Wispy. It just says wispy. Volt Lash Wispy. That's, for me, lashes, the eyes are so important. Melissa, thank you for that fire. Lashes are important. Lips are important. Nails. My toenails are always, always, always painted. And Andrea is just so good to always keep me looking dolled up on the feet area.
And guess what? She reciprocates and paints my toenails for me too, and my nails. So
That's true. That's
yes,
so true.
high user.
The glue that I use is this callus, and it works surprisingly well. I was a little suspicious at first because it's so thin. The viscosity of it is so thin. I thought, oh, no way, no way. But the truth is, it really works good. So what I do is I put this on the lash, let it dry. I don't just put it on there wet. I let it literally dry. I wait longer than most people, and then I take this Kiss glue. This is Kiss, and I just put it right where I'm gonna place the false lash. And I let that dry for just 1 second. I use this little fan right here, and I just dry the glue so it's tacky. And when those two glues stick together, that lash is on there because there's nothing worse than being out, somewhere, and all of a sudden you realize you're sporting one lash. You're just running around like Nemo, and
It's just high.
just got this one little flipper going like this. So I do these two glues, and it's a nice lash weld, if you will.
It does make a difference. When I started using two applications of glue, one on the lid and one on the lash, it made a big difference. But I don't wear them very.
Well, you don't have to, babe. You got those
No,
plump, juicy lashes.
I just got lazy.
No, it's good. You look amazing
Yes.
always.
Where did you get this glue? The Kiss glue?
You can get
Probably.
this. I think you can get this anywhere. I think you can get this at
I would
Walmart or
definitely try
Target or
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, I'm starting to buy a lot of my stuff on
Let me
Amazon.
see. It's the
But it's Kiss, and this
The
other
Kiss
glue.
glue liner. There you go.
This we got. Remember that little show we went to in Vegas? That
Mhm. The expo.
yeah, we went to an expo in Vegas and got this.
We
But I'm
own
sure
any.
that you can get this just on Amazon. It's Callus. Callus. All right. Well, sweetie, should
Do
we
you
shut it
ever
down?
get into a fight with your lashes?
We're just
Yeah,
like what that
pretty
like the
much.
butterfly kiss wars. Like, is that what you mean? Where we just
Probably when you can't apply them right 5 times and you just want to.
oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Hi from Ireland.
Ireland,
Glad
wow.
you're here.
Thank you for being here. Lashes, they are distracting if they're not glued on right, and one edge is lifting up and kind of scrape. Yeah, they can be distracting, but if they're glued on right, which is why I use two glues and they're really solid, then no, they don't interfere with my vision at all. No, I love them.
Do you still ride a motorcycle?
Yes.
Yes, we went out about a month ago before you went the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you feel like your personality is the same or has changed since coming out?
I believe at first when someone asked me this 6 months ago on the live, they said you have different personalities. I said no, I'm the same person, the same thinking, the same morals, probably the same judgment. But no, since then I think I'm not the same person. My perspective is very different. My gratitude is different. I'm just maybe more comfortable emotionally here. I'm very. It's not. I'm hard to threaten. I'm hard to offend. I just live in a state of gratitude when I'm Allyssa, where Kevin lives in a state of get in my space, threaten me, threaten my people, and there's going to be a problem. And I don't feel the same conflict or the same insecurity as Allyssa as I did Kevin. Maybe insecurity wasn't the right word, but maybe it was.
Oh, wow. Everyone.
Are they angry?
No.
Are they angry with me? They're just lashes, folks. You don't gotta hate me for gorgeous lashes.
You don't have an open relationship. Are you still Kevin, even if you change your name?
Oh, you're still Kevin. You're still Kevin if you change your name. Well, I mean, gosh, I mean, all of us are who we are. I mean, we have so many switches turned on. You know, I have half of my switches I feel are boy, and half of my switches are girl switches. And if I'm going to be whole, I've got to use the switches that I have. I think most people, all of their switches tend to be male or female, and for whatever reason, that's not the case with some people. So I can choose to use half my switches, or I can choose to use all my switches. The question is, do I have the right to use all the switches that I have to live the life that's good and healthy for me, as long as my behavior is not bad for anybody else? And if this behavior is bad, that's the discussion that I want to have right now. What about this behavior would be terrible for society?
I could never be angry with you, Alyssa. You haven't done nothing wrong. Oh, so
Oh, that's
nice.
thank you.
Alyssa, you can
Thank
hang
you.
with my kiddos anytime. Thanks,
Oh.
Amy. You're so awesome.
Thank you, Amy. And thank you for taking Andrew to the houseboat. She had
Yes,
so much fun, so much fun. And Addie too. So
I know.
it's story after story, and they're so excited. So thank you for taking them. It was wonderful.
So cute.
That's great.
Well,
Baby, should we shut it down? 8:55 here in Utah.
Yeah, wow.
Guys, thank you for joining us. Sorry it's been a minute.
Thank you, Gina.
As a wife, I couldn't do it. All the power to you. I couldn't be attracted to him. As a husband, yeah.
Thank you.
Then you're not the only one. That doesn't make you, wrong. You're just not in the same situation, and everybody's got to just, judge where they are in their relationship. It's not the right fit for a lot of people, but you also only have, half of the story. What's that old illustration where they say, if somebody gave you $1 million to jump out of a plane, would you? No. Oh, too bad, because it was just parked on the runway. Well, you didn't have all the information to even make that decision that could have been life changing. And the reality is, unless you're in this situation, you don't have enough information to just go leaping out of a plane. You just don't. But we sure appreciate, your perspective, and thank you for watching us and listening. And I hope that if anyone comes to you that needs you, I hope you can think differently because of something that you heard tonight. Yep.
And thank you
All right.
for joining us on our live.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that
the
rose. That's so nice. What a great we really have good people, babe. There's so many good people out
Thank you,
there.
everyone.
Guys, thank you. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you
Oh,
for the rose.
thank you for that. I wish I could read
Callie.
your name. It was
I
Callie.
think so, yeah.
Callie, thank you for that rose.